we have to talk about your own success versus the team you root day in and day out for. Like, you're a big Yankees guy. You were crying yesterday about how you feel like it's bad news and the season hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, and I'm not usually that guy, but when your ace goes down and you haven't replaced him and it doesn't look like you're going to anytime soon. I mean, Garrett Cole's out. How do you win a World Series without your ace pitcher? Seriously. So
that's the biggest
thing. That's just part of the story. As we mentioned yesterday, no third baseman because LeMahieu, you're banking on LeMahieu and his tangled tootsies. This guy has feet problems every year. You got no Luis Gil, no Rookie of the Year. It's another big arm gone, at least for 3 months, 6 months. Schmidt's hurt. Giancarlo Stanton's hurt. Big players hurt. So it's like, it's hard to feel positive. I'm excited that baseball's here and that there's something to watch and something to root for. But it's hard to think more than ever when you got the Dodgers, when you got the Mets and the Phillies and a stacked AL East that the Yankees have a shot. You just got to believe that when the star players go down like that.
I bring this up because a lot of times you wonder, hey, do I care more about my own success or the success of the teams I root for? It's a really, like, when you think about it, it sounds like it would be a dumb question. Like, of course I care more about my own success.
Yasibya. I've always said that.
Drago said that.
I fight for me. Yasibya. I fight for me.
How did we learn that? Was it closed captioning?
I don't know. You have to imagine that more than ever, people fight for themselves. It's like narcissism has gone rampant since social media became a thing. Everybody's so into themselves. You think people care about anyone else more than themselves? You're out of your mind. Look at all these self-centered people dancing in front of the mirror all day. Bunch of weirdos.
As you point out.
Everybody the superstar of their own movie.
As you point out, what are some people's worst qualities, everyone else embraces.
Well, I've said that about myself. What was considered to be my worst quality, Steven's so self-centered. I guarantee you, if you ask any of my ex-girlfriends, they're like, Steve's a nice guy, but what a self-centered son of a bee. That was my worst quality. However, in today's world, that's the quality that everybody leans the most into, and it seems to be okay. It's a terrible way to be. It's something I was trying to fix, but now it just is. Now it's just what everybody is. So I would have to believe that more people today are all about their own personal success than anyone else.
However, I mean, take a look in the stands at any college, NFL, NBA game. I mean, we're about to start March Madness. So the question is this. What do you root for more? The success of the team you root for?
Okay.
Or your own success? And I bring this up because...
So you're saying, like, for me... The Yankees, which we already said, I'm looking no,
I have
down on the season.
I have a great hypothetical for you, but let me set this up
but
first.
But your team or your own personal sort of thing?
I have a perfect hypothetical for a guy like you. But let's start by introducing Ben Stiller, who was on the New Heights podcast. And Ben Stiller, you know, who we saw is going to be in Happy Gilmore 2. Oh, your fingers hurt? He's going to be in the second one. We all love Ben Stiller. He's such a Knicks fan that this is what he said to the Kelseys.
Would you rather win an Academy Award or Knicks win the NBA championship?
Realistically, I think the Knicks winning a championship is in the cards.
All right.
So I'm definitely down for that. Yeah. But if I was forced, I really think, like, at the end of the day, if I knew that I had the choice, I would give it to the Knicks.
Brings a whole city joy. And to be honest,
easier said, I mean, from a guy who's had a lot of life success. Like, is that award going to change his life? No. So he's like, yeah, I'll take the Knicks victory. So I'm saying it's just easier for him to say that.
Rewind a second.
Regular fella.
Because Bradley Cooper had once said that he cared more about the Eagles winning than any award he could have won. It meant way more to him to see his Eagles win than his own personal accolades. So when you dumb it down...
It's really a question of what brings you more joy.
Yeah, when you dumb it down, let me give everyone in this room... I've thought of a hypothetical for everyone here. If I said Steve COVINO...
Yeah, that's me.
What would you rather more? The Yankees win a World Series.
Yeah, they haven't done it since 2009.
Yankees win a World Series. Or your daughter's cheerleading squad coming in first place at like states?
It's kind of tough, but not really. Of course, I want my daughter to feel what it's like to win and to take some pride in victory and to feel good about herself. And I want her to build confidence. But I don't care that much about her team winning.
Oh.
I care more about my Yankees winning.
You would choose?
I choose her own personal success. Like if you said your daughter personally won an award, I could never root against my daughter. But her team, I don't care that much about her team. I know that sounds crazy, but do you see what I'm saying there? Like if you told me your daughter won some crazy scholarship because she was the greatest kid of all time versus the Yankees, of course I'm going to root for my kid. But when you say her team, I'm like, hey, I was a part of a lot of teams that didn't win. I feel just fine about my confidence. So I'm going with the Yankees based on your specific question.
Danny G, you have Raiders tattoos?
I do. I have one.
Yeah.
Raider sword on the back of my arm.
So let me ask you this. Raiders have not won since Jim Plunkett. They have not won since you were a little boy. I picture you with a beard as a little boy, though. Is that weird?
He was a little kid with a chin strap.
Danny G had a chin strap beard at 5.
Haven't been in the Super Bowl since the early 2000s.
Danny G, Raiders win the Super Bowl, or your little boy Koa wins like the Pop Warner Championship locally when he's like 10.
Ooh. Well, Koa wasn't planned, but I've planned my whole adult life for the Raiders to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's been planning this out.
Yeah, and it looks so far as if Koa may be a soccer prodigy, the way he's kicking a size 4 soccer ball around, dribbling it around the field, and the kid's barely 18 months old. So, yeah, as long as he had individual success on the soccer field, Rich, I'd be okay with that.
That's what I was getting at too, Danny. Like, yeah, my kid's individual success, I'll always root for that first. But when it comes to my team, I'm putting my team over their team.
Yeah. If anyone can remember the player, I always thought this was wild. There was a player whose dad admitted it was a player that's from Queens, New York. This guy was on like the Brewers or Marlins or something, and his dad admitted, yeah, I watch the Mets every day, and then I go back and watch the highlights of my son.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Who was that?
I forget who it was, but there are people that their kids are in the pros, and they're like, yeah, my son's on the Titans, but this family's a Steelers family. It's like, are you kidding? I always think this is an interesting question, personal or family accolades versus the team you root for, because Big Mike, who runs this place,
Who?
Mike,
said that he rather his little kid, when his kid was 6 years old, score one goal in a 6-1 loss than any of my teams winning because it's my family versus a stupid team.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their thing. Mike was pretty adamant about that. But then again, he's a Dodgers fan. They won last year.
I got to be honest. I asked you and I put you guys on the spot. And when I thought about it myself, I wanted to be all righteous. I'm the guy that's coaching these kids every week. I coach a girls' softball team and a boys' t-ball team. As everyone knows, I'm the number one coach on Fox Sports Radio.
Wait till they all find out what a rebel you are. Wait till they find out you were banned on Facebook for being a creep.
So you would think my answer is, of course, my kids, the children. But if you told me it's Game 7 of the World Series, Mets, versus, let's say, my son Ben's Little League championship when he's like 9.
That's what I'm saying. Ben could still have a great season and not win.
I'd probably say, yeah, the Mets. But you're right. If you told me my son's going to win by hitting a walk-off,
right, you're not going to ever root against that.
Yeah, then you're going to root for your kid. But I think
I still ride on personal Little League accolades. So I would never root against your kid or my kid to not achieve those moments. But their team, I don't care about their team.
I wanted to talk this out with you guys because I thought we'd come to an answer, and I think we have. And the answer is this. And if you disagree with this, you're on drugs. You're crazy. You can never root for your team against your kids' personal accolades. But you could root for your team over your kids' team's accolades.
Yes.
If it's your kid hits the game-winning three-pointer and his, junior high basketball team wins, you'll pick that over the Suns winning an NBA title.
For sure.
But if I said, yeah, your kid's like a bench player and his team wins, or the Suns and you're a Suns fan,
By the way, was it Jonathan India's dad?
Yes.
Diehard Mets fan, even if his son was on the Reds? He was on the Reds?
He was on the Reds at the time. I remember they interviewed his dad, and he's like, yeah, I grew up in Queens. I'm a Mets fan. I watch the Mets every day on MLB TV, and then I go back and just watch my son's at-bats.
Yep, that was it. I just looked it up right now. So, I mean, yeah, because, and you said it, you're a blank family. It's not that you're being selfish in that moment. Danny G is from a Raiders family and he invested his whole life waiting for a Super Bowl. It's not that selfish of a thought, and I kind of get what Ben Stiller's saying, but again, what does an Oscar mean to a guy that has multi-millions of dollars anyway?
And sometimes awards mean nothing. If I told you, COVINO.
Some people don't put any value on awards at all.
If I told you they were going to give you Steve COVINO, you're going to win the Premier Radio Network iHeart Syndicated Show of the Year award. The Yankees win the World Series.
Awards mean something to me.
I would choose the Mets win over us winning an award.
Us or me? Because that would be cool if I won and you didn't.
COVINO and Rich? No, just COVINO.
Yeah, he won. As the show, no, just him.
No, they decided to leave Rich off.
Yeah, I'd feel cool about that. That's a tough one, Rich. That's a tough one. But Ben Stiller, the story today, and the reason we bring it up is Ben Stiller says he chooses his Knicks over a potential Oscar on the New Heights podcast, and Bradley Cooper has said the same thing before.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on how long the drought's been.
Oh, yeah, all these things matter.
If you root for a team,
how bad does your kid need to win like that?
If you're a Cubs fan and 2016 hadn't hit yet, you would have chosen that over anything. But, again, if you're a Chiefs fan, yeah, you've had some success over the past handful of years. I think you would choose your kid's Little League game over the Chiefs.